begin today's episode of Art of Making. Felted pillows, decoration of modern interior. Astau, an Asian type of woodenware. How theatrical costumes are made. I've been sewing since childhood. The love for this was instilled in me by my mother. Love for sewing can be love for neat lines of drawings and mathematically accurate calculations, or love for fabrics that are so pleasant to sort through, rearrange, and select interesting combinations.
Орнамент из войлока.
A felt item was my first inspiration. It was very interesting to work with that item. Memories of childhood constantly take Almagul back to her parents' house. Here her mother sits on the floor and cuts out the details of the patterns of future blanket from fabric patches or makes felt carpet, and the young craftswoman joins and avidly absorbs all the subtleties of sewing. And her father, who was always happy to support his daughter in her artistic endeavors. When I was a child, my father, seeing my work, bought me a sewing machine. From that moment, I started using it for the first time. At first, I was scared, but my inner inspiration overcame everything.
Немножко страшновато, конечно.
Our life consists of details, says Almagul Batırbekova. Each interior will look unfinished without decorations. There are quite a few ways to decorate a space. If you want the design details to be not only decoration, but also perform a useful function, then decorative pillows are the most suitable option. Several pillows in the leisure area will make it more cozy and comfortable. Moreover, they can differ in shape, size, and color. The main thing is to create a beautiful composition and choose a unified style. These pillows fit any interior, whether it is a home decorated in a European style or a cafe and a restaurant.
В кафе, ресторанах.
For Almagul Batırbekova, decorative pillows is an amazing opportunity to play with colors, fabrics, to make expressive traditional patterns using new materials, to create its original geometrical ornament and composition.
Если это в кроватку ребенка,
ornaments are used as intended. If they order it for children's room, then they will often choose a creative ornament, so that the child will grow up creative.
Для малыша. Если это используется в зале.
If it is for the living room, then they choose qoshqarmiyus, which means wealth and well-being.
Человека.
Almagul loves clear and precise lines. The maximum environmental friendliness and the sense of integrity of nature and a human being are her main principle.
Для подушек мы используем очень качественный и хороший материал.
We use very high quality and good materials for the pillows. We use velvet, and the fillers are also of the highest class. Our pillows are very soft.
Все шьется очень с любовью большой.
Painstaking work of our employees is put into each seam. Everything is sewn with a great love.
Большим спросом.
Our pillows are in great demand not only in Kazakhstan but around the world.
Сейчас за границей очень много брали.
The wool can be fine or strong. The future product depends on the quality of the fiber, its texture, and color.
Подушка готовится по размерам. Вырезаем размер подушки.
Pillows are made according to size.
Делаем лекала орнамента.
We cut it out, then make ornaments, put on a pillow, stick it, and sew it on.
орнамент. Затем полностью
Then the pillow is fully assembled.
собирается замочек. Отдельно мы шьем
We sew filler from the pillow separately. This is a premium hollow fiber. Color palette depends on the interior. I personally love pastel shades.
Я вообще люблю пастельные тона.
Color is primarily a psychological aspect. Each season is full with its own shades. Spring begins with blooming, nature comes to life and fills the world with clean and fresh colors. You can feel it in the air. In summer, you want freshness, so bright, juicy colors and patterns are used in textiles. Autumn is about ripe colors, deep and warm. While winter immerses nature in sparkling whiteness, leaving only a few muted natural shades. In this very time, we surround ourselves with the most soft, cozy, and warm things, enjoying a cup of a hot favorite drink. But the Kazakh ornament is relevant for all times, says the craftswoman.
Мы хотим сейчас использовать наши элементы.
Now we want to use our ornaments for a woman's dress. We're actively working on this project.
Над которым мы работаем.
There is always a high demand for such goods, because the value of each thing created by hands is unconditional, as positive energy, which each craftswoman invests in her work. Astau is an Asian type of woodenware designed to serve mainly meat dishes. Such tableware was appreciated by our ancestors, and now they are in a great demand. At weddings and other events, main dishes of the celebration are served in Astau. Today, perhaps every Kazakh family has it.
Astau деген ол бұрынғы біздің ата-бабамыздан келе жатқан.
Astau is an Asian type of tableware that our ancestors used. It's made of wood.
Ағаштан жасалатын ыдыстар. Ешқандай химиялық.
Such dishes are environmentally friendly, natural, doesn't contain any chemical compounds. Long time ago, Astau was used by our ancestors. Now we decided to make such dishes ourselves.
Қолымызға алып жасап жатырмыз.
This Astau workshop was opened by Danabek, Rysbekov and Ardak, Berikov. Initially, it was planned to produce not only Astau, but other types of wooden utensils as well. However, the demand for Astau was so high that Craftsmen decided to focus exclusively on it. Craftsmen had to dive into history, study all the subtleties before they presented a new product to the customers.
Бұл Астаудың тарихына келетін болсақ, бұл көне заманнан келе жатқан біздің ата-бабамыздан қала жатқан асыл.
As for the history of Astau, this is primarily the legacy of our ancestors. We categorize this as national value.
Ас деген мысалы, не себетін атауының өзі.
Why was it called Astau? As means food. Tau means mountain. Speaking in simple language, Astau is an abundance of food. This is a story of respect for food. In general, this is the national value that we inherited from our ancestors. No matter how many centuries pass, today young people use it too. And we try to develop this.
Ұлттық құндылығымызды дамытып келу үстіндеміз.
Craftsmen mainly use elm tree to make Astau. This type of wood is dense and durable, so the dish will last for a long time.
Ағаш экологиялық экологически бұл таза өте.
Wood is environmentally friendly and natural material. It has many advantages for the human body, for the human health. This is first thing.
Тудырмайды. Екіншіден жағы
And the second thing, when you take food from such dishes, you will certainly feel its wonderful aroma and energy. Food served in Astau is especially delicious.
керемет болады.
The food in it does not spoil and remains warm for a long time. Most importantly, it will be nutritious for a person. The craftsmen receive orders from all over Kazakhstan and from abroad. Recently, they made several Astaus and sent them to Germany and France. In general, there are many types of Astau.
Бізде сан алуан түрлері бар. Мысалы, біздің ең кішкентай астауымыз отбасылық.
We have different types of Astau. For example, there are small sizes that are suitable for a small family. They are used for Borsaks and Kordak.
Ең кішілеу бұл сол табылады.
And there are large ones, up to 1.5 meters in size, and you can serve a dish of a whole lamp in it. We make about 20 types of Astau. They are different not only in size but also in shape. It all depends on the purpose of the dish.
Айырмашылығы. Мысалы, кез келген адам қолымен жасағаннан кейін кез келген
For example, serving the meat among Kazakhs is special. You need to place all parts of the whole lamb, and here you need dishes that are not small but large. That's why Astau is divided into different types.
ойдан құрап шығаруға болады. Сол себепті өзінің пішініне бөлінеді астаудың сан алуан түрлері.
Craftsmen told us about some details of the Astau production process.
Қазір мен сіздерге
Now I will show how to make a small Astau.
қалай жасалу жолдарын көрсететін болам.
First, we choose the wood. We'll also need a ruler and a pencil.
Мына ою қажет болады.
And we will cut such patterns into Astau. We still need this tool. We use it to create dishes.
Жалпы, мына қашауларын
But these tools are necessary when cutting the ornament.
тіпті талап етеді.
Шабамыз, одан кейін
First, we create the shape, cut off the excesses. Then we grind it, form inner part of the dish, cut out the handles, then decorate it by applying the ornament. After all this, we begin to varnish the outer part of the dish, and we cover the inner part of the dish with oil. Since Astau is intended for food, the inner part should not be varnished.
астауды тез және көп мөлшерде шығару үшін
To speed up the production process, we use modern equipment in our work. Now, I'll show you how we create the ornament.
ою салу тәсілін көрсетемін.
Қазір көбісі бәрі станокқа көшкен. Қолмен қазір ішігіміз тегіз келмейді.
Now, many people work on the machine. Few people cut it out by hand. I work both on the machine and by hand, just like our ancestors once did. To this day, I'm following the path of our ancestors. Of course, what is cut out by hand is different from what is cut out by the machine, and everyone knows that.
Әсері бір бөлек болады. Жаңағы станокпен жасаған оның әсері бір бөлек. Ол
For example, when a person works with wood manually, all his powers and thoughts are given to it.
ағаш деген бұл жалпы
Wood is a living material. It feels everything. And before you make Astau, you need to feel this material.
мынаны былай шапсам былай болады деп астау істейді.
Only then something can turn out of an ordinary piece of wood. These are all laws of nature that must be understood, respected, and everything should be done with good thoughts.
Сол себептен жаңағы мейіріммен шапқанға не жетсін. жалпы станок істей алмайтын элементтері өте көп, мысалы қолмен кез келген жеріне мысалы.
The bottom and inner parts can be made with the help of a machine, but there are many elements that are not so easy to make on the machine.
Кез келген мысалы қазақтың ою.
For example, if we talk about patterns, Kazakhs have a large number of ornaments. A horn of the argali, the lamb horn, we cut out both on the machine and by hand. The difference in the end is like chalk and cheese. And as I said, when a man does something with his own hands and with good thoughts, then all the energy is transferred to what he did.
Өте айырмашылығы жаңа жер мен көктей болады оның.
The elder brother instilled in the craftsmen the love for folk craft.
Сол ағамыздан үйрендік, 40 шәкірт.
We learned the skill from our elder brother. He taught over 40 followers. Thanks to his knowledge, we have created our own workshops. We are working successfully. I myself now share knowledge, and many of my students are already creating their own workshops.
Бұл жерде еңбек бар да.
This work requires a lot of labor, including manual work. The craft is not new. We have it from our ancestors. They used wood dishes while eating food. And I will be happy if this craft will continue to be passed on to other generations.
Өзіміздің ұлттық жаңағы оюлар салынып, алғаннан кейін ол қызу.
National patterns on Astau attract attention and awaken people's interest in its culture.
Содан кейін оған қызығушылық артады.
And in general, Astau can rightfully be ranked as national treasure.
Ата заманнан келе жатқан өзіміздің ұлттық ыдыстарымыз, қазынамыз деген сияқты сондай.
There are still many Asian crafts that have not yet been fully recreated in Kazakhstan. There is so much to learn, but I am glad that I have mastered one type of folk craft. In theatrical performances, every detail is important: decorations, music, light, and stage costumes of the actors. If they are well chosen and beautifully sewn, they correspond to the time period of the performance, reflect the inner world of the heroes. This all enhances the audience perception. Creating a theatrical costume requires tremendous skill and deep knowledge from those who are involved in it. The costume designer needs to know the history of art and the history of costume, and those craftsmen who make not only sketches but also sew independently should be able to accurately embody it in fabric or other material. An atmosphere of creativity and search always reigns in the sewing workshop, because each theater costume is essentially an independent work of art, and each product here is strictly individual.
Костюмы и эскизы мы получаем от художника, уже готовые эскизы.
We get costumes and sketches from the artist. These are ready-made sketches with fixed fabrics. We discuss a sewing, a cut, and a fabric directly with the artist. Then the development of the patterns begins. Receiving of fabrics, then cotton and sewing.
Потом крой, пошив. Сейчас в нашем театре оперы и балета имени Абая началась подготовка к спектаклю.
Now preparations for the play Spartacus have begun at the Abai Opera and Ballet Theatre. We work on the costumes for ballerinas. We are now preparing them according to the sketches.
Мы сейчас работаем.
One of the first and perhaps the most important stage in creating a theatrical costume is the artist's work on the sketch. Each sketch is a concentration of many different stories that reveal the mystery of art. Before making costume sketches, artists and director discuss what will it be like? A lot. During these discussions, the ideas of future performances are clarified, stage images and their expressiveness are specified. At the stage of developing sketches, the number of costumes for all characters is thought out. It is agreed which costumes should be the brightest in the production and how to stylistically combine the outfits of the main characters and the extras. Sometimes actors, with their vision of style, functionality, and aesthetics, also join the discussion about the costume, because in the end, they are the ones who will wear the costumes on stage. The creation of a theatrical costume takes place in the collaboration of artists with employees of the sewing, scene, and dressing shops. First of all, well-chosen materials should be on the cutter's table. I cut it out, then give it to seamstresses and they sew the costume. Then we have a fitting. Where it's necessary to cut out something, we cut it out. We're making it down. That is, at first, they receive future costume from me and then they finish it. At the sketch level, material, colors, accessories are selected. When all the details have been agreed and the cutter has made sets of patterns, work continues in the tailoring shop. It is here that 2 or 3 costumes fitting take place, and the last fitting already takes place on stage. In general, the fitting of costumes in the theater is a separate process, filled with the excitement and emotions for all its participants. As you can see, the costume was tried on for the second time. I have already made an adjustment, cut the straps. I give it to the seamstresses, they finish the costume, then the designer will decorate it. There will be beads, the artist will draw it, and the seamstresses will finish the sewing.
Видите? Это все будет рисовать художник, а девочки дальше будут вышивать.
This is a costume for the Gaditene maiden. There will be a chiffon skirt, the bottom of it will be uneven. Patterns were embroidered on a machine, and stones, braids were sewn by hand.
Еще один эскиз, по которому мы работаем, это платьишки.
Another sketch we work on is the sketch of a dress. They're ready for fitting. This is a short dress, a belt is also provided for it. All this will be handled manually. Beads are ready, soon they will be sewn. We made the beads ourselves, they're provided here.
Бусы приготовленные, вот которые пришиваться. Они вручную деланные. Они будут сюда пришиваться.
This is the next step in making this dress. Then again we will call for fitting, and we will look at how beautiful it is to sew, at what distance from each other the bits should be placed. These are the blanks we prepared for the dress. During making of a theater costume, the artist works along with a prop shop, determining what kind of other details of props are necessary for the implementation of a specific stage image. Often, property masters have to make rather complex props and scenery from paper, cardboard, metal, fabrics, and synthetic materials. There are many techniques, technologies, and methods of manufacturing. It's impossible to list everything, but it's important that all these products are manufactured exclusively by hand. For example, this is a courtesan's costume from the play Spartacus. This is a new production in our theater. There will be a swimwear and a short skirt. You can see the sketches. In the finished form, they should look like this.
В готовом виде оно должно быть так.
Fascinated by the actor's performance, viewers rarely notice the work of those who, having perfected the performance appearance, participate with them in the beautiful birth of the role. Artists, seamstresses, and many others always remain behind the scenes, but at the same time, they are also the creators of the play, who, along with actors, directors, and artists, deserve a round of applause.